have the daily price chart for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. So as we can see here, we do need to pull back a bit on this price chart because we have seen some very steep declines here relatively recently. A lot of this activity occurred after the July 11 trading session, which is a trading period that I've spoken about in prior videos. I did suggest that this was likely going to be a turning point for the stock market, that we were likely to start to see winners and losers within the technology space. And this did ultimately come to fruition, given the fact that we saw some major declines here in some stocks. And in some cases, those declines were not as bad as they were in other cases. So currently, what we're going to do is kind of drill into this price chart a bit and look at some potential price zones that can be used for real-time trading activities. So as we can see here, the current price level is coming in at 177. We have seen a bit of a price gap here to start the most recent trading session. Overall, this price movement higher is because we did have a period of time where a significant price gap was existing on this price chart. Essentially, we can go back to the August 1 trading session here, and we can see that price lows came in at 180, 187. And then during the following trading period here, August 2, we can see that the share price is gapped all the way down to 160.55. We did see a bit of a higher close during that trading day, but this did still leave a very significant price gap, which is something that would not be common for a stock that's this substantial in size in terms of its market cap. Of course, we are dealing with one of the largest companies in the world, a MAG7 stock. So seeing price action like this, volatile price action like this, is not common, to say the least. So, this July 11 trading period did turn to be a key inflection point for the market, not only for the summer trading period, but for the remainder of the year as well. So this really, it really was a punch in the face a bit as far as allowing the market to understand that these technology stocks do have the potential to trend lower, and they're not always going to be the most stable names, because even we were even seeing some meme stocks that were actually trading in ways that were more stable than the MAG7 stocks after this period of time. So this was a very interesting time period, and it looks like we're starting to see some of the dust settle with share prices in Amazon starting to head higher. So as we can see here, as I said, this price gap is now being filled. We have really filled this price gap at this point, or at least most of it. We have recovered the this prior support zone, which would now be expected to work as resistance. We're sort of grinding through that area at the moment. And then once we do break above this exponential moving average cluster, that will complete the filling of this prior price gap. So we're not quite there yet. We've done most of the work here, but we still have a little bit more work to do here to the top side in order to fill this price gap. This would not be accomplished until we reach roughly 180, 180. If we were to see prices move back above this level, it would be a bullish event, given the fact that we would then be trading above the exponential moving average cluster. We have to remember this is the daily chart, so the top moving average here comes in at the 50-day exponential moving average, which is found just above 180.50. So if we were able to clear all of this resistance for the stock, this would set this name on a fairly strong path here toward recovering these prior post-July 11 trading losses. As things currently stand in the relative strength index, we can see some bullish indications here, although there are some elements that are working in both directions. Currently, we can see that the prior downtrend in share price momentum has run its course, has completed itself. The relative strength index itself has broken above that prior trend line. And then in addition to that, the relative strength index has also broken above its own exponential moving average. So these are both bullish events, and we're currently trading right around the 50 mark. So that's the middle of the histogram here on the bottom of the price chart. What this essentially means is that the share price could continue to move in the upward direction without becoming oversold. If we're looking at the prior resistance zones here, we can see that a critical level comes in during this August 1 trading session, which would be the result of the prior price gap. But this area now formed a very major level of resistance, which comes in at 190.60. So the way that things are currently looking here, it does look as though we could move all the way into that area, or at least very close to it, without becoming overbought. This would be, you could probably argue this would be the best case scenario near term for the stock if this were to happen. So I do expect gains to be somewhat limited here. we would start to move. We would start to move into this 190 resistance zone, and at that point, more than likely, we would be looking at an overbought indicator reading in the relative strength index. As things currently stand, we have clearly broken above two of the major exponential moving averages. That would be the 200-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. So we do still have some resistance here overhead, and we haven't exactly cleared this 176.80 level, which marked the prior price low from the July 25 trading session. So, we're not completely out of the woods here. We do have some distance here before this entire price gap is filled, and most of the price gap has already been filled. So a lot of the gains that would be expected to be seen from this filling of the prior price gap, a lot of those have already been realized. So the real question here is how much further this stock could extend, and whether or not we're going to start to reach overbought territory relatively soon. As we can see here, if we look at the trading volumes, we can see that there has been a pretty significant decline here in the overall trading volume. So we were seeing a major spike here as the stock was reaching these prior price lows right around 151.61. Not entirely surprising. Big stock like this is moving into an area like the 150 level. It's not surprising to see, people in the market start to jump in at that point. People do like these big round numbers. You start to see Amazon move into 150. It becomes an easier trade at that point. And people really don't have to do much work. They're just sort of looking at this psychological number at 150. So it's not really surprising that we saw a lot of people enter into the market at this point. Kind of an amateur hour type of trade here. But since then, we have started to see share prices here start to be affected by the declining trading volumes here. And even though we are seeing a price gap here, these moves are being, let's call it, less confirmed by the trading volumes than they had been previously. So there are some reasons to be a bit cautious here. We have not yet fully overcome all of the near-term resistance levels. So here's the current market outlook for Amazon.com Incorporated, stock ticker AMZN. Our high-value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high-conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.